The number one cornerback in the 2021 class has named his top 5 schools, and we have to talk about it after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day, and it's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, need to talk about the number one cornerback in the 2021 class, Ga'Quincy McKinstry, which is an all-namer out of Pinson, Alabama, naming his top 5 schools. They include Auburn, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, and Clemson, right? And if you look around that group, with the exception of Auburn, you've had some guys that really been able to put out some top cornerback talent. And even Auburn, I think, could be talked about in this way over the past 5 years. But really, LSU and Georgia and Alabama have been the closest thing to DBU. And when you're looking at what talent they have put out in the last 5 years, it's really tough to argue that with Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner Grant Delpit coming out of LSU along with Christian Fulton. You can go all the way back to Patrick Peterson or even Tyrann Mathieu. You can keep going here, right? Alabama just had Trayvon Diggs go. They'll have Patrick Surtain Jr. go. They've had Minkah Fitzpatrick, D. Milner, and the like. And then Georgia had the 2018 Paycom Jim Thorpe Award winner DeAndre Baker. And Georgia has been really outstanding defensively, along with Clemson, who just saw the Butkus Award winner get drafted along with cornerback A.J. Terrell in the first round. That is 6 first-rounders in the past 2 years for Brent Venables' defense. So you can understand what McKinstry is looking at. He's looking at dynamic defenses. He's also looking at teams that have played in a national final, with the exception of Auburn. And I think Auburn is in the mix primarily here because of Patrick Nix, who is the father of Bo Nix, who is the quarterback at Auburn. Yes, McKinstry played for him, and we know that he's going to move from to Phoenix City to coach them next year. That is Patrick Nix. But you know what you're getting in McKinstry. He's an alpha male type of guy. He understands coverages. He loves to play press man. At about 5'11", he's not as tall as some cornerbacks, but he's got plenty of length. He's got plenty of size, and he has the ability to be a shutdown cornerback in anybody's secondary. As a matter of fact, I really would love to see him out on an island against a number 1 wide receiver more often than not, and I would like to see coverages rolled the other way because I really think he's that good. And I think that Gus Malzahn has the best opportunity to land him because of the proximity and because they have a former teammate of his, and we all know that, yeah, Patrick Nix has probably had a hand in all of this. Patrick Nix also played at Auburn. So, yeah, we would tend to go with Auburn, but if you are taking a look at perhaps, what his comp is, you're probably looking at Marcus Peters, for which Charles Power gave this evaluation. Possesses a lean build with good length and stature for a cornerback, tested as a good athlete prior to his junior season, and should continue making progress on that front as he spends more time in the weight room over the next few years. In addition to the football field, shows his athleticism as an above-the-rim basketball player and one of the better hoopers in Alabama. Is an outstanding and productive two-way player on the gridiron, starring at receiver and corner for Pinson Valley. Has elite elite ball skills as a corner, and would also be a top prospect as a receiver if he wanted. Shows the ability to consistently pluck the ball at his highest point and win in contested situations on both sides of the ball. In addition to high pointing and out jumping the competition, also shows the ability to locate and track the ball downfield, makes difficult plays at a high rate, and finds multiple ways to affect the game. Instinctive in coverage, and shows the ability to read the quarterback's eyes and break on the ball. Impresses with his competitive nature. Will need to continue honing his coverage technique as a cornerback, which should come once he focuses on the sport and position in full, right? The new head coach at Pinson Valley is Sam Shade, who helped lead Alabama to a national title before, going into the National Football League for an 8-year career. The other thing that I wanted to point out about Ga'Quincy is just how he has risen even during this era of, the pandemic, where we don't have many kids that can actually go to camps and rise up. But he continues to get rave reviews based on his film, and I'm with that. But I would also add in here that you don't really know what you're getting until these kids get back on a football field. And getting back on a football field is what everybody wants to do right now, to show what they have and show what they've been working on. Crystal balls show 50% to Auburn, and then we have Clemson at 25%, Alabama at 25%, but there are only 4 crystal balls in so far. 5-star in the composite, 23rd nationally in the composite, 16 in the top 247. I'm excited to see what he decides to do, and somebody's going to get an outstanding player. But Carl Scott and Pete Golding are really going after him in a real way. Carl Scott has done a fantastic job in recruiting. I know that he lost out on Latrell McCutcheon as a commit, but Alabama's still in the mix, even as most folks would tell you McCutcheon is leaning toward Oklahoma after being the first commit in the 2021 class for Alabama. I expect for McKinstry's commitment to take place later during the season. I don't really expect him to have this all settled on and picked out by the end of the summer, like some people. I would like to see his 40 time get a lot lower, though, with 4.67 as the reported time, but he ran that a couple of years ago. I would like to see it get below 4.6, and I would like to see him put on a little bit more size. He's about 175 pounds, but he'll probably get up to 190, as Power pointed out, with a few years in the weight room. And I think that would be the reason for picking a Clemson or an Alabama or even Georgia. They just have a great way of developing their kiddos into bigger, stronger guys. Alabama really doing a great job with this, and Clemson has shown that its system, its talent development system, is elite and really one of the best in the country. I'm not certain that losing out on McKinstry is going to affect any of these schools as much as perhaps a quarterback, right? We're going to talk about Demetrius Davis at some point, who committed to Auburn out of North Shore and had a great year. But you really would love to have this as the backbone of your secondary in McKinstry. And I think Georgia is going to come on strong. We know that Kirby recruits hard and recruits well, and if they get him on campus, that might be enough, but we'll have to wait and see. All right, that's it for me. Deuces.